Hello, I'm Cindy Oswald, and I am the head creator of Homeschool Languages, and this is our first weekly update. It's going to be longer than what our future ones will be because not only am I going to tell you our progress on these projects we're working on, but also what they are. So, excited to dive in. First of all, I'm just going to assume that you already know everything about our business, what we offer. You can look online. So, what I'm announcing are just things coming in the future. Everyone is excited for level 2. We know that we're going to have 4 languages out. Italian is being discontinued. So we already have Spanish and German out, German only in digital format, and we have Portuguese and French. Let's hit that real quick. Why only digital? Well, Spanish is what sells. So Spanish is actually funding the other languages. So we're grateful that Spanish sells and that we can offer the other languages. Until we reach that point where we can buy these other languages in bulk, that's where we can keep the cost down. And even then, we still can't buy it in the same bulk and in the same price as we do as Spanish. Then that's when we're going to offer it. So I'm going to show you our progress on both of those things, digital and physical. So first of all, we have French. That's what's going to come out next. Right now, it bumped back to us real quick in our team before it goes back to the natives. The natives are going to work through it, look at it extensively, and then they give it back to us to do one more final touch, just applying what they've told us, and then it's released. So, French is 90% done. Yes. The next thing we're waiting for is Portuguese. Level 2, it is still being written. It's about 40, we have 40 lessons done. Then obviously the beta testing and the editing that comes after. So that is 35% done. So we hope to see both of those soon. Then as far as, this should say physical. As far as getting them in physical form, of course you'll see them in digital. The physical form will be, we're about 10% there to get that to you. So excited. We really want to get the non-language specific components to you first, just in case we're waiting a lot of time to be able to print the language specific components. And so that way you'll be able to mix and match. Yes. If you have any questions, let us know. I know I'm really great at explaining things. So next, you're probably asking about level 3. We are so excited for it. It is not being written quite yet. And the reason is because we are doing the curriculum with our own kids. So they are our first and best beta testers. We go through it again and again with them. And then we write the next level according to where they are and the gaps that we have to fill. So if we were to write it too early, then there's a chance that there will be a big gap or things like that. Or if we're not writing it while we're beta testing it with them instead of after, like we do with other beta testers, then we miss a prime opportunity to fix things right then and fix the direction that it's going, right? So level 2 isn't there yet. We're going to make sure our kids are up to date, and that is with the units too, getting all that extra vocab in. Okay, so then we have more languages coming. I want you to stay tuned because we're like, don't go in just yet, because one of the languages that I'm going to announce is going to be applicable for everybody. Whether or not you already have a language or you're looking forward to the ones that are coming, we have one that everybody, we believe, should be learning to make our world more inclusive. I'm wondering if you can guess what it is yet. So I'll start with 2 very exciting languages. Now, how do we determine what new languages are coming? Well, yes, it's people requesting it, and we have lots of requests for wonderful languages, and we wish we could get to them all, but there is a good mix of opportunity. And sometimes we have opportunities for a language that are not very well requested either, but the door is open and we just walk through it. So first, I will announce we have Korean coming, and it's about 20% done. Korean is one where we found out that this very high qualified mom was using our Spanish curriculum and translating it anyways. she was using it to teach her kids Korean. So we thought, okay, work with us then. And since you're already doing it, let's make it available for everybody. So now along the line of Asian languages, we have an Asian language team now, because they're just not romantic languages. They just do not follow anything that we know. And so anything that the Homeschool Languages team has created already, they use as like a map in how we teach, but things are so crazy. They're doing a really good job. Something that Homeschool Languages is very proud of is we take something that's very complex and we simplify it so that even a child as young as 4 is able to take these complex things and understand them. So that's incredible. The work that they're doing is incredible. And it's not just rote memorization, which is what we really want to avoid. It has its time and place. So the next Asian language that we have is Chinese. It's Mandarin. And yes, it will have the it'll be written in a way that you can understand. It won't just have the symbols. So that's about 40% done. So excited. Okay. All right. Now the language that I am very, very excited for. This one, okay, I'm going to tell you. It is American Sign Language. We're so excited. It's going to be different than any other sign language curriculum that you've seen. Just like the other homeschool languages curriculums that we have, it follows a different format. We don't just teach what you're supposed to teach. We teach to our goal. And our goal is to speak with our kids in our home. So we're excited for that. Let me just tell you a few hurdles that we've had to go through with this. First of all, hello UPS man. First of all, ASL tends to be a little bit like charades. Now wait, because we know that it's not. We thought that by teaching our kids, if you've ever played fishbowl is where you have, let's say, we'll just use 3 words, which is how we taught our kids in the beginning. So you have cat, you have dog, and you have eat. Thank you. So to get them to guess what this is, or what that is, we would do the full acting out of it. So, for example, like the dog, we'd be like, hey, doggy, woof, woof, whatever, come here. Okay, and so out of those 3 words, you do it for them all, then I might only, the next time, just do that. Just do this. One symbol represents an entire thought, right? Easy, and they picked it up fast. They knew that that meant dog. Same thing with eat, same, exactly. But the problem is they went way too far of, wait, I can do any action and it's sign language. You can understand, Mom. And we had to say, whoa. It's not. It just went too far into a game. Although it did explain what we wanted it to, they took it too far. So we backed up, and instead of, and I really hope that my kids are able to meet a deaf child one day and communicate with them. Now, until then, our goal is to speak it in the house. So I have to make the goal to them applicable, not just this like one day you might meet someone kind of thing. So I took the example of, when do we want to communicate, but we can't because we're not allowed to, or there's something that's blocking us from hearing each other. For example, church. We're not talking during church, but if I need to communicate something with you, like, we could be able to talk. Same thing with my son was at a swim class, and I was behind a glass window. And he wanted to tell me that he passed some little test, and I had no idea. But I did understand when he said, I love you. I don't know if that's real sign language yet. But we were so happy that we were able to communicate with that. So just like when we started Spanish, our first homeschool language curriculum, when we introduced our kids to Spanish, they thought that they could just make up a language and it would be okay. That's what they thought, just like how I just explained with ASL. That's why when we introduced the puppet, we said, he speaks this language. In order to get him to respond, you need to be saying the right words. He doesn't understand English. And that's the difference, is you had to. You knew you had to use a language, some words, to get him to respond. If you do that with mom can still understand English, so you're not as motivated to. Okay, so with ASL, we can't do the puppet. And so we have decided to get a little window. And that is what is going to signify that you can play in it. The kids are going to love it. But you're going to play in it, and it's just going to be a reminder that we can't hear each other. It's that through this window, we're going to be able to talk, and we'll have different activities that will lay in front of each, both the teacher and the student, and you'll be able to communicate that way. So that is just one element of the many that we have. And I need to stop myself from telling you all the other amazing things that are coming with the ASL, because it truly is going to be like nothing we've ever seen. And that is why it works. So, okay, so ASL is 1% done. Not because we haven't done any work on it, but because there's a million things to do. And we've done 100, 1,000 things. Don't judge my math. A little bit. A lot of it for a big project. Okay. All right. The next thing that we're excited to introduce, and you might have seen it on our website because it's going to come soon, is not language specific, but it is a method of communication. So it is a dance curriculum. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, my kid's learning dance. They can take dance class. This is different. We found that by teaching my son Spanish, by teaching our kids a language, he identified as that language. Like he anything that's Spanish, and you might have seen our reels, he sees someone who's Spanish, someone who's speaking Spanish, and he's like, I'm there, you're my best friend. And he knows where the countries are. Maybe not all of them, but the ones that I picked out. Oh my gosh. All right. So yes, he remembers a lot of things, whether it's the secret treasure that lie in Peru and Machu Picchu, or what ají de gallina is, and different parts of Mexico, and wanting to go see the ruins, things like that. Like, how cool that he's able to be exposed to those different cultural aspects without me even having to force it, right? And it's simply because it's related to the language. Well, we're doing the same thing with dance. So we're coming out with 6 of them, the 5 languages that we have, and then English, and they're small steps. Now, what it does is it connects you with that culture. And suddenly, you know more and love that culture more because you know their dance. For example, the first one that we start with is German. So we're in Austria, and we're learning the waltz. So cool to have your kids dancing the waltz in your living room. Let me just tell you that. But not only that, but now he knows where Austria is. He knows what they speak. He knows that he's picking out waltz and the 1, 2, 3s in songs and in movies. And he's also knowing things like Napoleon Bonaparte. Like, that comes up in it. So different historical aspects are coming in that he'll remember because of the dance. So Napoleon Bonaparte, by the way, so he wanted to have a lot of followers, and so what he did is he mixed the social classes. He was one of the first to invite both the rich and the poor to his balls. Whether you are royal or whether you are a peasant, you are one now in his fun palace, and to be able to dance there, the waltz. How cool. He's the first, well, that's the first Cinderella story, right? Same thing with like Prince Albert and Queen Victoria. They were one of the first. I'm sorry, I'm giving you the curriculum right now. But the fact that now my kid knows it, he knows composers and stuff, and it was easy. It was easy to pick up through this little curriculum. So fun. All through fun, all through play, all through we get to move our bodies, all kinesthetic learning, right? Okay. So our next update, I'm just going to tell you the update. I don't have to tell you all this stuff again. So the dance is 30% done. Not given a date, but we hope that it's done soon. Okay, 2 more projects I want to tell you about. One, I'm not going to tell you much. I'm just going to tell you it's a secret project. 10% done. Really excited right now. We're looking forward to get the second, what's it called? Like, the manufacturers are giving it to us again the second time. Prototype. It's a prototype. They're going to give us a second prototype, and the purpose of it is to change yet another very common habit in your home into your target language. I'm so excited. The last thing that we're working on is we have created a sister company for Homeschool Languages. So we are seeing that a lot of you are teaching and adjusting Homeschool Languages to make it work in your co-ops. And we're so happy that you are spreading the language love. You have to do it for free though, because of the copyright, right? The reason why you're loving it is because people love to learn languages, but then also you now have friends to speak the language with. Instead of jumping into a group that's already made, that they're already bilingual, you have a group that is small, it's learning with you. You have friends in this. Love that you're doing that. We want to make it more open and go for you. So not only do we want it to be open and go in a group setting, we want you to be able to get paid for it now. So we're making a licensable classroom version that you can monetize. You can teach it from your homes. You can get friends to learn with you so you have a community. It has been so fun. So we've beta tested it here in our own home with friends, and still these little kids are coming up and saying, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" It's so fun. We've taught it in an actual classroom setting. And so we're going through teaching it, beta testing it at the same time before we beta test it for people who have no prior experience with the curriculum yet, to just make sure that you really are able to, okay, kids are coming over, you're able to open and go. But it is more than just a textbook and a curriculum. It's like the big backdrops. It's like a spinner. It's little things that they'll be used in a whole bunch of different ways. So they won't take up a lot of room in your home. You'll be able to fold up the background, things like that. But lots of fun things there that without you trying hard, it's going to be really memorable and really fun for the kids. And they will be trying different foods. And the pasta doble. It's so fun. Okay, so that is about 20% done. So we are spread thin. We just do a little bit on each every day, and we're just constantly everywhere, just trying to get so many things done at the same time. I'm so excited to keep you updated. I'm so excited to have more prototypes and more things to show you. And we're just very happy that you're here with us in this journey. So thank you, and we'll see you next week with more updates.